Hello guys, my name is Gavin, and this will be a video on how to make a simple treasure chest or a loot box. So it's pretty much something that you can loot, the box will open, and you can take the contents. And I'm just going to get started. So to start off, let's right click on this camera and hit X and delete, and then right click on this light and hit X and delete. Next, I'm going to hit 7 to go in the top view, right click on this cube in the middle, and let's hit S and X to scale it out like this, and let's hit S and Z to scale it down just a little bit. With this cube, this is going to be the base of our box, so I'm going to go into edit mode right here, click on this face select mode, and right click on the top face. Let's then hit W and inset faces a little bit. Inset the faces like that, right click on this part, and hit E and extrude down. So essentially this is going to be like there's an object inside that we can open up like this. Alright. Actually might add a light back into the scene. Let's add a lamp. Let's have it be a point. We can see that like that. Alright, next what we're going to do is I'm going to right click on the bottom base object. And let's do hit the spacebar and hit add a cube like this. And let's have it so that the dimensions of our new cube roughly match what the box is right here. So let's hit S and X and scale it out. I'm going to drag our cube up just a little bit. And hit S and Z and scale it down. So this will kind of be like the lid on our box. Okay, that'll work for this video at least. I might scale it out just a little bit on the x-axis, and there we go. With this lid, we want to have it so that it'll, let me hit 7 to go to top view. We want to have it so that we can like lift the lid up, so it'll rotate up like this. So what I'm going to do is actually let's parent the lid to this bottom object. So right click on the lid and hit Shift and right click on the bottom object and do Control and P. And if we right click on the lid, let's go into edit mode, go into face select mode, and let's right click the back face and do mesh, snap, and then cursor to selected. Let's go into object mode and do object transform origin the 3D cursor. So we can see now that we can rotate our lid up like this. Okay. Next what we're going to do is I'm going to drag up this tab down here. Now I'm going to set the end keyframe to 10, set the start keyframe to 0, and what we're going to do is set the active keyframe to 0. Hit 3 to go into our side view. Oops. Okay, sorry, 3 to go into our side view. And I'm going to hit I and then lock rotation, and then go to frame 10. And do, rotate it back like this. And do I and then lock rotation. So if we were to play the animation now, it would look like this. Okay. What we want to do now is go from defaults to game logic, sorry about that, and go from Blender render to Blender game. And on our lid object, what we're going to do is add a keyboard sensor, like this, and I'm going to hit the spacebar key to select it like this. So with this keyboard sensor, what we're going to do is add an action actuator. We're going to have it so that it will play from keyframe 0 to keyframe 10. So every time we click this, so we should see if we hit play now, it'll open up like that. So we've now got our box that opens up, and we can see every time we click it, it's going to do this. Now let's have it so that whenever we click the spacebar, it'll add a random item into our inventory. So I'm just going to do this all on the lid really quick, but I'm going to add 3 different game properties that are all going to be integers. And we're going to add, let's say that there's going to be 3 separate things. Like, what are things typically found in chest? Let's say gold is one. I'm going to put ore as a second one, like iron ore. And let's just use a third one that might, I'll just do wood. I don't know why there'd be wood inside of a treasure chest, but there would be, I guess. Let's then add a Python controller like this. And let's connect it to our keyboard sensor. So whenever we open up our treasure chest, it's going to run this Python script. Let's now go from templates to Python and do game logic simple. And let's delete the portion that I've highlighted and hit Control and scroll up on your mouse to make your text larger. What we're now going to do is I'm just going to rename this as treasure chest, chest like this, .py. I'm going to add this right here. Well, treasure check, I guess. I spelled that wrong, sorry. And what we're going to do is get a list of our 3 game properties. So, what we're going to do is have lists, or inventory, is going to be equal to, and let's get the string value of gold, or in a string, and let's have wood. Okay, now what we're going to do is have it so that whenever it runs this script, it's going to have choice is going to be equal to random.choice, then inventory. And what we are now going to do is actually import random at the top really quick. Sorry, I forgot that. Is have let's have a random number. So let's have a variable called random number is going to be equal to random.randint and 1, 10. What we're now going to have is have own choice like this is going to plus equal random number. Now this may be a little bit confusing, but if you remember, whenever we add a game property, our game property is essentially a string. So if we were to add gold, we do own gold would be like plus equal 1. But if you remember, the choice is a random choice of one of these. So if we were to choose gold, this is what that choice would equal to, the string of gold, which is why we only have to put choice in here. And then since our random number is going to be a number between 1 and 10, we just need to put that in there as well. Now I'm going to click these 3 eyes right here and do game and then show debug properties. If we were to hit play now, we can see, I think there's an error really quick. Let me check. No, there's not. I think my Blender was just slow for a second. So you can see whenever we hit play, it added gold and ore, and that's because I think in Blender 2.72 it runs this twice. So you can see it's adding random amounts of each thing. So, and if we want to actually print to see what we got in the console, let's print choice. And I'm going to put plus, or actually not plus, that's Java I'm thinking of. We're going to put comma and then choice, like this. And I'm going to print number, and then random number. So if we were to look into our console, I'm going to just open up my console again and bring this out. We can see it chose wood and it chose to add 7, and then the second time it chose ore and then to add 6. And you can see whenever we do that, it's just going to add random contents like this. Alright guys, that is how to make a random treasure chest in Blender. I hope you found this useful. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you like my channel as well.